Ladies and gentlemen, he does not bring the hype. He is the hype. The Lonzo Show is on the radio.
It's going to be in your head all day now.
I love it. I love that line. It's a good line. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday. The Rob Brown Show is on your radio. This is The Fan Upstate. 97.7 FM Greenville. 97.1 FM in the Berg. And all around the world on the Odyssey app. AUDACY. Download it. Put it on all of your digital devices. Don't miss a moment of broadcasting. I am Rob Brown. He is Colonel Grudge. Hashtag Dad Kicks, the Alpha and the Omega of the Fan Upstate. The Professor of Perfection. The Wizard of Wave. He is the hype. Lonzo joins us as well.
There it is. I am the hype. By the way, if you want to see...
no, that's not what it was. I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
But you called yourself the selling point.
I did.
That's the nickname.
I am the selling point.
He is the selling point.
Wait, Lonzo's going to be there? I'm in.
I actually really dig that name.
Yeah.
That's a good nickname.
Yeah. If you want to see Rob's hair, which is just immaculate today.
Yeah?
It's looking good because today's photo shoot time.
Picture day.
Today's photo shoot time, and Rob asked me where my khakis were. I'm not wearing khakis till I have to. I'm not putting them on till I have to. And as a listener suggested, I'm leaving the tags on, and I'm taking it back to Walmart right after the photo shoot.
Lonzo said, I'm not a khakis guy. I am not a khakis guy now. I shan't be a khakis guy later. Sans khakis goes Lonzo. However, the mandate came down that for school picture day, we rock the khakis. So we'll see if Lonzo's strategy pans out here.
Oh, mine are
of wear them for 10 minutes and bring them right back. You basically leased a pair of khakis.
Mine are extra tight. They're extra tight.
Super duper.
Yeah.
Super duper.
Sorry. Our photo together. Selling point.
Selling point.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, glad to have you on a Monday. We are doing better than the Phoenix Suns. My goodness, Phoenix. What the hell was that? What was that? Just a complete and total meltdown out of the Suns. The rally in the Valley did not go well. Jason Kidd said everybody predicted it to be a blowout. Y'all just had the winning team wrong. Man. Zoe. CP3 is a reminder to all of us to occasionally check in on our grandparents. Because the senior citizens of the world apparently can hit the down slope real fast, real hard. CP3 was an animal in the opening series against New Orleans. He was an animal for the first two games against the Dallas Mavericks. And then, somewhere along the line, CP3 walked into someone's basement or attic or whatever, and he uncovered an old rusty frame, and inside of that frame was a picture of what CP3 is supposed to look like at his age. And once he saw what he was supposed to look like at his age, the picture regained its youth, and CP3 turned into dust. That is a Portrait of Dorian Gray reference, ladies and gentlemen. You're all very welcome. What an absolute boat show from the Phoenix Suns last night. A team that was in the finals last year. A team that had everything going right for it leading up to this series. Just the bed.
I've seen, I think it's Barstool tweeted out a video of one of the Phoenix guys saying something to Luka, calling him a name.
It was Devin Booker.
And he said, this is the turning point. I hope that was the turning point because Luka, decides not to play in the fourth quarter. If he did, it could have been even worse.
They'd have won by 80.
Yeah, they could not touch him. I've been trying to find my next guy to cover, and I had it down to him and Zion, but Zion don't play anymore. So I got to go with Luka.
Can't even be mad at you for that. Can't even be mad at you.
It's factual. I mean,
At one point around the second quarter, Luka came down with the board. The whistle blew. D-Book got all up in his grill. Started knocking the ball out of his hands, trying to take it from him. Luka gave him this face. Like, doggy, for real? For real, though? For real? For real. That's what we're doing today. That's the attitude we're... Okay. And as the meme from the Michael Jordan documentary said, Lonzo, and I took that personally. Luka became the new face of the "and I took that personally" meme. It was bad. It was bad. Luka decided at that point, this series is over. The series is done. Yeah, it's game 7. Of course it's over. But that's not what I meant. This game is over. This series is over. Luka Doncic has decided to be Luka Doncic at this point. So Luka Doncic showed up in the third quarter because he wasn't needed in the fourth quarter and went beast mode on the Suns. The exact opposite of CP3. I don't know, man. I don't know. I was disappointed with Chris Paul. I was disappointed with Devin Booker. D-Book is my favorite young player of the last couple of years.
I was going to say, Chris Paul's getting way too much heat about this.
He's 37.
Well, obviously he's older, but that was fine while he was playing lights out. Suddenly he hits a wall, and then he's old. But last I checked, he's not the only one on that team.
Yeah, I was listening to the DA show on the way in this morning. They got to talking about it. And they said when CP3 went from being playoff CP3 back to 37-year-old point guard CP3, they said the rest of the team correctly looked lost. They looked lost. They looked confused. They looked like they did not know which direction the offense was supposed to go. They just look confused. And I think that's spot on. When it was very clear that CP3 did not have the stuff that he had against Nola, did not have the stuff he had early in the Dallas series, when it showed up that his best stuff was MIA in Game 7, nobody else stepped up at that point. Nobody. Texter on the Preferred Home Services text line, 71307. Start your text with ESPN. Says, when D-Book has 7 points in the first half, it's a problem. Yeah, Devin Booker, listen, Suns. I don't mean to coach y'all. I don't mean to tell y'all how y'all do y'all thing. Devin Booker is supposed to be your guy, okay? Devin Booker last night, here's the numbers. Zoe, 11 points on 3 of 14 from the floor and 0 of 4 from behind the arc.
Sad part is this is a Game 7.
Yeah, in a Game 7. Yeah, you turn in one of those games every now and then. Hey, everybody has an off night, right? Everybody has an off night. Everybody has a day that things don't go their way. It happens to the best of us. But, D-Book, that's a Game 7, dude. That is a Game 7 that you went 3 of 14 from the floor, 0 of 4 from the arc, and had 4 turnovers. You led the Suns in turnovers. Chris Paul, 10 points, 4 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 3 from the arc, and a free throw knocked down to show for it. 4 assists on the night for C. Paul. You ready for the total points combined? Combined total points, Lonzo, of the three other Suns starters, Crowder, Bridges, and Ayton, a combined 16 points. 16 from three starters. In this game, you needed to have 16 out of each starter. D-Book, you are supposed to be the guy, man. 11 on 3 of 14 from the floor. Ain't gonna get it. Ain't gonna get it. Wainwright had 10 off the bench, 12 for Johnson. That's it. 4 shooters in double figures for the Suns, Lonzo. 4 figures in double shooters, and their scores were 10, 10, 11, and 12. Now listen, I thoroughly believe that you can win basketball games in the NBA by scoring in the 90s. If you have a really good defense, like a top-tier lockdown defense, you can score 90, 92, 94, and win the game. That's fine. But they didn't even do that. The Mavs shot 57% from the floor, 49% from behind the arc. And by the way, kids, listen to your Uncle Rob, 12 of 12, 100% from the stripe. Luka, 35, 12 of 19 from the floor, 6 of 11 from the arc, 5 of 5 from the stripe. Oh, and by the way, Lonzo, if that wasn't enough for you, Luka, 10 boards to go with it. 35, 10, and 4 were the numbers for Luka Doncic. That, Devin Booker, is what the face of a team is supposed to do in a Game 7, my guy.
By the way, quit acting like he's Kyler Murray's side. I mean, he's a little shorter, but he's not that short. He's in the NBA. And tenacity can get you in there and get you rebounds if you want to.
My dude's 6'7".
Yeah, I mean, come on. He's taller than you.
I know, but look at him amongst the trees of the Suns, right? In the middle of Crowder, Bridges, and Ayton, Luka's weaving between them like a Ferrari coming out with boards over and over. Dear D-Book, do me a favor. Look at Luka last night and figure out what you need to do to be that guy. Here's a big question, Zoe. If you're Chris Paul, are you walking on that? Is that your farewell?
No.
Can you swan song that?
No, and he's already said that he's coming back. I mean, he could change his mind, of course, but he's already said he's coming back.
They're pointing out on First Take right now. I love me a plus-minus stat. Chris Paul on the plus-minus last night. I was looking at this earlier. Chris Paul on the plus-minus last night, Zoe, was minus 39. Minus 39. That means the Suns were 39 points worse than the Mavs while Chris Paul was on the floor. That is the worst plus-minus of Chris Paul's entire career. I'll give the Suns this. Their bench showed out for whatever that was worth. Granted, a lot of that came in garbage time in the fourth quarter. Wainwright plus 11, plus 7 for Jamal McGee, plus 11 for Peyton, plus 11 for Holiday. That being said, over for the Mavs, Reggie Bullock plus 44. Luka Doncic plus 37. Dorian Finney-Smith plus 37. Unreal. Texter said, who should be more embarrassed, the Suns or the Cincinnati Reds? Yes. Yes.
Here's what I want to see happen. This is just me personally. I hope that Dallas will do the same to their next opponent.
Any particular reason, Lonzo?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No reason. No reason.
Okay.
A dress comes to mind.
Colonel Grudge, ladies and gentlemen.
Never,
Colonel
ever,
Grudge.
ever. I will forget people's names, including yours, but I'll never forget that.
First off, ouch. Second off, I understand. I understand entirely. Ladies and gentlemen, the NBA playoffs, they're entertaining. They went from, Zoe, one of the most entertaining first rounds I've ever watched to a really entertaining start to the second round to the last few games just being an absolute, just a fart in the wind, man. Just nothing. Just nothing. That wasn't the only game that went last night, by the way. The Boston Celtics beat the ever-loving you-know-what out of the Milwaukee Bucks as well. So, when we come back, we'll take a look at that game. What went wrong for the reigning, defending, undisputed NBA champions? Texter said, who should be more embarrassed, the Suns or the Reds? I'll tell you why. He asked about the Reds as well, because that was bad. And Texter says, please, Coach Rob, teach me, Daddy, teach me good. Okay, it's going to be one of those days on the text line, I see. I am awkward and taking it to break. He is the selling point. I'm just Rob Brown. It's the Rob Brown Show right here on the Fan Upstate.
So apologies about the TV. I finally had to just take it back to the blue screen because it was flashing so badly that it was It was very much a distraction. And it's the TV. It's not. I mean, it's been dying for a while. Oh, that looks pretty well. It did for a moment. No. Another day in the life of Rob Brown, TV repairman.
Well, I'm dressed like I work at freaking Best Buy, so.
He is the Geek Squad.
Put the geek back in Geek Squad. Okay, we can try it one more time.
I don't know. Still doing that thing.
Whoa, whoa, oh, whoa. Yeah, we got some NHL talk coming up later on. Trey, tell your delivery driver Tom to stay tuned. Rob looks like he's meeting his new stepson for a milkshake. Oh, that's rude. That's rude.
That's pretty inventive, actually. I mean, you know. And yes, I will be dressed like that, but not until about 12:25. Our photo shoot's at 12:30, and at 12:40, I will remove the khakis and the polo. Haven't even tried the polo on yet. I'm sure it'll be amazing, but
Rob looks like upper management today.
I'm gonna have to see you after the show.
I'm going to need that TPS report by Friday. Yeah. You slept with Lombard?
Would it be professional if I, threw the collar up or would it be too much like...
When you take a photo with a keytar, you better.
I don't know that we're going to do that. We only get one fun shot. I don't want to do that to you because I suggested we don't have to do that, Is it one fun shot individually or one fun shot together? It wasn't defined. So
I feel like they slated us for 30 minutes.
No, well, yeah, but then they say
to get 2 pictures.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't think so, especially not with us. We're taking probably 50, 60 photos because photogenic. Hello, other people might be a struggle.
So we gave you the rundown of the Mavericks and the Suns, which was embarrassing. Now we flip over to the rundown of the Bucks and the Celtics in Game 7, which was, that's right, embarrassing.
Yes, it was. I was enjoying the game, and suddenly my screen went yellow. And then I got we're sorry, we're experiencing technical difficulties in Muzak for like 10 minutes, so I missed a good portion of the third into the fourth quarter.
No, somebody in Milwaukee just unplugged something. They might stop putting this on TV.
They might have.
Stop putting this on TV. 81-109, your final score up there in Beantown. Unbelievable. How about this? Boston trailed by 6 at the end of the first quarter. Then they turned around. They led by 1 at the half. Second half, led by 10 at the end of the third quarter and just ran away with it in the fourth. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 25. Drew Holiday, 21. Brook Lopez had 15. Nobody else had more than 10 to help out. Nobody on that Bucks team.
See, I was going to say those numbers are not bad.
The starters' numbers aren't bad. Well, Matthews had 3. Allen had 1 as a starter for 0 for 6, 0 for 4 from 3, 3 rebounds to go with it. That's not starting NBA numbers. I'm sorry. It's not. 0-6, 0-4, a combined 0 for 10 from the floor. His 1 point came off of going 1 for 2 from the stripe. Not going to get her done, man. Not going to get it done. Giannis's number weren't great, weren't terrible. 10 of 26 from the floor, 1 of 4 from deep, 4 of 6 from the stripe. 20 rebounds for Giannis Antetokounmpo, who, by the way, despite getting bounced yesterday, Zoe, I am now comfortable saying Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best basketball player on planet Earth right now. I mean, I love me some Bron. There are some really good players in the league right now. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best basketball player on planet Earth right now. The guy's untouchable. There's not an aspect of his game that doesn't work.
Yeah, but Rob, he just bowed out of the playoffs. How can he be the best and not be going to the championship game?
Same way Brad Johnson is not one of the 15 best quarterbacks in NFL history, but does have a Super Bowl ring. That's not the only thing. There are other things to look at. Yes, Giannis got bounced. The year that he was doing what? Defending a Milwaukee Bucks NBA championship. Giannis is the best player on planet Earth right now. And he showed it again yesterday. That being said, showed it again this year. That being said, did not show it yesterday. 10 of 26 from the floor, 1 of 4 from deep. Lopez, 6 of 12, 1 of 6. Drew Holiday, 9 of 21, 0 for 6. Matthews, 1 of 5, 0 for 3. Allen, 0 for 6, 0 for 4. I don't care who you are. If you are shooting 36% from the floor, if you are shooting 12% from deep, you're losing that game. Beantown, on the other hand, 42% from the floor and 40% from deep. 22 three-pointers. Lonzo, 66 points from behind the stripe for Boston. 22 of 55 from behind the arc. And for the record, I don't care if you shoot 155 three-pointers if you are making them at a 40% clip.
I mean, it's amazing when you're making them, but when you don't, you lose.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you're depending on, because I seen a lot of this yesterday in both games. Guy gets down to the arc and just throws up a shot before the rest of the offense you're not going to get rebounds that way. So you're either going to make it or the other team's going to get the ball.
Yeah. It's if you are splashing at 40% from Trey, I don't care if you shoot 155 three-pointers. But if you find yourself X minutes deep into a game and you are, 4 of 28 from behind the stripe, you maybe stop. Boston didn't have to. They were doing it. 27 for Williams, 23 for Tatum, 19 for Brown, 11 for Smart. That's a starting rotation. 14 off the bench for Pritchard. The Celtics went 37 of 88 from the floor, 42%. Not an incredible night from the floor, but not bad. 22 of 55 from the stripe, 40%. They also went 13 of 18 from the free throw line. I mean, look, Milwaukee screwed up. That's all there is to it, right? They played bad basketball. They kept trying to force the same shots. Those shots were not there. Giannis did everything he could do to take over. He also could not figure out a way to get the shots to drop in clutch moments. Boston did the opposite. Boston played basketball. They dominated the paint. They forced Milwaukee to get desperate shots up. They did. They played good defense down low. They did not allow Giannis to just walk it to the rim every time he had it, which a lot of teams do. A lot of teams go, Giannis is going to get his, get out of the way, let him walk it to the rim, and we'll see what happens. Boston did not do that. Boston played good basketball, played good defense. I'm here for it. All right. Overall, I made one mistake coming into this NBA playoffs. I underestimated one team, Lonzo, the Dallas Mavericks. I said 2 Fridays ago, the Dallas Mavericks were probably the only team that I did not believe could win the NBA Finals this year. I also thought Giannis is getting back to the Eastern Conference Finals, right? Drew Holiday is too good of a team leader, a defender, not to help Giannis get back to the Eastern Conference Finals. However, I vastly underestimated the Celtics. I vastly underestimated the Mavs. Luka did his damn thing last night. The Celtics as a starting 5 did their thing last night. This is why I love the NBA playoffs, Lonzo. I came in thinking I had it nailed, knowing exactly who was going to do what. And instead, in a pair of Game 7s last night, I went 0 for 2, and both my picks got blown out.
Been saying for a while that any team can win this whole thing, and I still think that in the 4 that are left, any team can win this.
I thought you were wrong 2 weeks ago. I don't anymore.
I mean, you could say that probably Golden State might have the edge.
Sure.
But do they? If Dallas plays the way they played yesterday?
I mean, I'd have said no, but I said the same damn thing about Phoenix, right? And oh, by the way, let's not pretend like the Grizz didn't have the Warriors scared for a minute there and did it without Ja Rule.
You kind of, I don't want to say made fun of, but you downplayed Miami a little bit last week. Now they're going to win the whole thing just to spite you.
I don't believe in the Heat, which means bet everything on Miami out of the East. Your NBA Finals is Boston versus Golden State. I love you, Dallas. I love you, Luka. I would hug you and kiss you on the forehead for what you did last night because I enjoyed watching you play basketball. But my freaking goodness.
Miami versus Dallas is the NBA Finals.
Yeah, you might.
No, that's my choice.
Oh, we're just going opposite.
Yeah, we're going opposite here.
Yeah,
I'm going for Spoelstra because I like what Miami's doing. I don't think he gets enough credit, and Luka's my guy now, so I'm going with Luka.
I'm not mad at it. I'm really not. Luka was unbelievable last night. The Mavs were unbelievable last night. Finish them off in 7. Golden State, they had their hands full with Memphis for a minute. And it wasn't until Ja Morant went down with the bruised knee that the Warriors were finally able to pull away. Over on the flip side, I know Joel Embiid missed a couple. Did Miami beat Philly or did Philly just implode? I argue Philly just imploded. Listen, Miami's a good team. Jimmy Butler's a good player, right? I loved him giving the 76ers hell for not letting Jimmy Butler be the face of that franchise. Loved it. But Philly imploded. Again, by the way. Again, because they did it to Atlanta last year. Atlanta last year went into the Eastern Conference Finals and got blowed out. I suspect Miami does the same. I think Boston's got a better starting 5. They can rack up more points before we get to bench periods of play within the game. So I got Golden State taking on Boston in the finals. Miami's going Dallas, or Lonzo's going Dallas versus Miami. Congratulations, Lonzo, for going 2-0 based on my picks so far in the NBA playoffs bracket. Texter said, I love this. I saw someone say Luka is the Greg Maddux of the NBA. That is a great comparison. I love that. And I don't think you're wrong, by the way. I think he is the Greg Maddux. He is undervalued. He's underappreciated. Nobody looks at Luka and is fearful, right? You look at other guys in the league. With the exception of Lonzo, if Steph Curry is going off, people get afraid. They tailor their game to try to stop Steph. If LeBron is on, if KD is on, if Jimmy Buckets is on, people talk about him. People start talking about him. People start gearing up towards him. Luka ain't that way, right? It's like every time Luka's on a tear, it's less, my goodness, look out for Luka tonight, and more, my goodness, did you see what Luka Doncic did last night, right? So you were here except for one day. How many Luka Doncic discussions did we have on the show last week?
I don't recall.
Yeah, correct. None. We didn't do it. I am guilty of this as well. In fact, the only Dallas discussion I had was when I said, I don't think Dallas has it in him to get by Phoenix. We didn't talk about Luka other than, man, I hope they get Luka some help down in the Big D. Because Luka, with some help, could be a stud. The only discussion we had about the Mavs was when I said, hey, I don't think they got it in them. I don't think they got it in them to beat CP3, D-Book, and the Suns. And instead of having the discussion of what can Luka do this weekend last Friday, instead, we roll up in here on Monday and talk about what Luka did. ... Again. Let's take a break. My name is Rob Brown. He is the great one, Lonzo. The selling point, ladies and gentlemen. We're back after this. You're listening to The Rob Brown Show. This is the Fan Upstate. Make sure my headset doesn't mess up the quaff too much.
There you go.
School picture day. My man Patrick Beverly showing up and just reclined in the chair, loving his life.
Can you keep the hair that way for another 3 hours? It's 3 hours from now. We'll be almost done.
Almost done.
Let's just blink a lot. Oh, man, you blinked in that picture. You're going to have to take another one. Okay. That has nothing to do with making the team that comes after us have to wait. Nothing to do with that.
So do we go full diva just to extend our shoot for no reason?
Let's bring in a lot of props that we're not going to use, but we're just going to bring them in there anyway, so they think we're going to use them.
Hey, can you tell me, does this cart number have an L? Does this run as a live?
No. I mean, I can look it up on the thing, but no, it doesn't. It has L's show up differently on here, okay. So it's not. It's a column.
I need to ask how this works then.
Is it being billed as a live?
I was told it would. But then I never heard anything else back, and I just heard them start running. So
that's
and they've been running like 2 a day.
Yeah. By the way, I've heard this spot on
this one.
I don't know if it's this one in particular, but for this company.
Me, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a little shocked. Wow. I'll Rob all the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rob Upstate.
We already knew.
More me, you can have more me.
There are some spots that are not Rob yet.
I'm optimistic.
Hey, check this one out for Tim.
Dope. Like it.
And then there's the last one for Tim, which I think might be my favorite.
That's pretty badass.
It is.
That's pretty badass.
So now I had to, so everybody's characters are done. I've been given, so I gave them the pairings. So now it's just a matter of
Putting it together.
yeah. Just the smile on Tim's face when he saw it. It's like, yeah. That armor bulked him out a little bit, but you know. I forget who I showed, but someone was like, is that Rob?
Oh, they actually picked up on it?
Yeah. What is he?
A Sex Panther.
I said it was a Steel Panther, but you know.
I mean, different folks, different strokes.
Yeah, you know. Then they ask, is that a robot? Well, yes, it is. It's a robotic panther. I was trying to think of, there was a show, and it's not Zords because that's from Power Rangers, but there's another show where with a bunch of robotic tigers and stuff, and I can't remember what it was called.
I don't know. I don't know if I've told you this. I think I have. These polos are the exact same polos that the staff at the Bon Secours Wellness Arena wear. The exact same polos. And I only know that because before one of the hockey games, one of the floor managers came up and was like, you're supposed to be down on the floor right now for final inspection. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you were supposed to be down on the floor for final inspection. And I was like, final inspection of what? And she's like, are you wanting to get paid or are you trying to get fired? And I was like, what are you talking about? And then I turned around and she saw the logo and she's like, oh, you don't work here. I'm like, nope. And then I looked and realized she had on the exact same polo with a different logo.
Nothing wrong with that, by the way.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I just can't ever wear this shirt to anything at the Bon Secours Wellness Arena or I'll get put to work.
There you go. Or you'll get chastised for not working.
I'm not working hard enough.
The show I was talking about is Zoids, by the way.
Zoids?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we might have some news here. I am working to confirm it right now. Yep. Breaking news brought to you by our friends at BetQL. BetQL.com. Get better. Be a better, be a smarter, better. Beat the books with our friends at BetQL. I shouldn't say our friends at BetQL, Lonzo. I should say me and my friends at BetQL, as Rob Brown has a nationally syndicated sports talk gambling show on Saturdays from 1 to 5 on the BetQL network.
So you're not a fill-in. You actually it's every week. You're national. Okay.
I'm not a guy. I'm the guy. 1 to 5 on Saturdays, BetQL Network and TPT HD3 right here in the Ville. Hey, Lonzo, Texter has informed me, and I just went and found out he was telling me the truth. Brad Johnson, Super Bowl winning quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is on TikTok under the handle Big Bad Brad 14. And as the texter said, basically all his content is all Uncle Rico style, look how good I still am at it. And I just went and looked, and about 70% of Brad Johnson's TikToks are Brad Johnson launching footballs at various random high school football fields around the country. It's pretty spectacular.
All right, how's he dressed? I mean, is he going full on Uncle Rico, or is he just being Brad Johnson?
In every one of them, it is like spandex Nike shirt with gray, different gradient t-shirt over it, and joggers.
All right.
There's, and for the record, it's not all football stuff. There's him. Here's one of him making 2 baskets twice in a row from the free throw line, shooting a basketball out of each hand. Respect. Let's see. Here's another football one. Here's one of him and his family all throwing footballs at uprights and all doinking a football from the goal line off an upright. Here's one of Brad Johnson playing Papa Shot. In case you ever wanted to know, what does Big Bad Brad look like when he shoots Papa Shot? Wow.
I guess you feel bad now
Wow.
dissing Brad Johnson when he's the king of TikTok and you just didn't know.
Big Bad Brad has 58,000 and some change, almost 59,000 followers on TikTok.
Is that good? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's good or not. I don't know.
I joined TikTok only because I was told that TikTok's video editing software is like for guys like us that want to pop up short form content to throw up on the website and whatnot.
And don't want to purchase anything.
Right. I have been told that that TikTok's video editing software is really solid for that purpose. So I got it. I got on it. I made one and then have never been back. Never been back. But hey, if Big Bad Brad is a TikTok guy, I mean, who's to say it's too cool for me, you know?
All right, I have a gambling question. What's a parlay again?
A parlay? Where did this come from? I like it, but
Well,
where did this come from?
It was just tweeted, Drake won a casual 2.6 million parlay on Sunday.
Nice. So a parlay is when you have one bet that consists of multiple other bets, and all the smaller bets have to hit for you to win your big bet. So like you could say, and obviously by needing to hit multiple bets, it increases the amount you would win if all of the smaller bets hit. So for instance, a parlay might be, I'm going to bet that when the Buccaneers play the Chiefs next year, you can make 3 small bets, like Tom Brady will throw for over or under 275 yards. Patrick Mahomes will throw for over or under 275 yards, and the over on the game will be 35 points. So you could bet all 3 of those things differently. So I could bet that Brady does throw over 275, Mahomes throws under 275, and the over cashes, meaning there's more than 35 points scored in total. And each one of those you would get a line, like plus or minus 110. Or I could bet a 4th bet, the parlay, that all 3 of those things happen, right? That Brady goes over 275, Mahomes goes under 275, and there are more than 35 points scored. And if all 3 of those things happen, you win a bigger bet. So you're basically taking a few smaller bets that you would make and combining them that you will be right about 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different things and win. And obviously, the more you add to your parlay, the bigger the odds are. So there was a guy last year that turned like $100 into $1 million, Lonzo, because he had a 16-team parlay in like week 2 of the NFL season, which basically means he picked the correct winner of all 16 NFL games. If even one of them was wrong, he loses the bet of $100. But he hit all 16 correctly, and his odds were like plus 80,000 to 1 or something like that, or 8,000 to 1. And he turned $100 into like $800K. I don't remember the exact bet. But a parlay is when you bet a lot of smaller bets together that you will get all of the small bets correct for one big bet. So Drake probably had something like, if he was betting NBA, I'm assuming, he would have made a handful of bets like Suns to win, or Mavs to win, and Celtics to win, and Luka to score 20, and Devin Booker to score 10, or whatever.
All right, this looks a little more far-ranging because they have shared a picture of it. He's got the Rangers versus the Penguins.
Oh, he played a little hockey too. Oh, he's Canadian. I forgot.
He's got Suns and Mavericks and Calgary versus Dallas. So he had 2 hockey games and a basketball game.
Okay, so he had. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. He had Rangers Penguins. He had the Rangers to beat the Penguins. He had the Mavs to beat the Suns, and he had the Flames to beat the Stars. He had to get all 3 of those winners correct. If even one of those teams lost, the Rangers, the Mavs, or the Flames, if even one of them lost, he loses the bet. He bet, because this is an amount of money that normal people have to bet, Lonzo. He bet $308,832.62.
Okay, what's the deal with the 62 cents? I don't know.
It probably just was what he had on his account. He probably just had that much in his account, was like...
In his betting account?
Take it all. Yeah. Oh, I have a betting account. Every bettor has a betting account.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I have a betting account. It stays active. I allow myself X amount of dollars to put into it per month. And I gamble with that. And everybody has a different rule. My rule has always been, as a gambler, my rule has been, Zoe, I put in X dollars a month into my gambling account. When I double that money, I pull out the original amount. And then everything else just stays in and rides, right? So now I know that the worst I can do is go 0%. I can go 0 out on the month. If I put in my X dollars a month that I play and it goes to 0, I'm done for the month. All right, I don't make another bet the month until the next month's money goes in. And then once I have reloaded the account the next month, if I double it, again, pull that out, everything else stays in until the next month. Then I pull out whatever is over my original deposit amount, right? So like I'll put in $50 a month. When I get to $100 in that account within the month, I pull 50 out. Then I keep going with the 50 that's in there. And if that gets to 200, I stay in. And then when the next month rolls around, let's say I got to 200. When the next month rolls around, instead of depositing 50, I will take out the 150 and leave 50 in there, and that's my money for next month. Drake probably does the same thing, just with $308,000. A very normal amount of money.
Not a bad haul, though.
Hey.
What do you got back for that?
Not a bad parlay at all. All right, when we come back, Drew Brees. I need everybody to calm down because Drew and Sean Payton are in the news, and some of y'all Panthers fans, you're letting your offseason optimism make you a little loopy. I'm going to calm you down when we come back. I'm Rob. He's the great one. This is the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate. I got you when I come back, Kagan.
Also, Keegan, the answer to your question is yes, and they're right after us. Hence us going to take our time and, yeah. I wonder if they'll let us hang around and watch other photo shoots.
They can't stop us from just staring through the windows.
I have no idea where I guess.
The conference room.
This is in the conference room? Okay. Well, if we're going to do it, we have to do it. Figure out which hallway to be in because we wouldn't want someone to notice what we're doing.
No, we go on both sides. You stare in one way.
Ooh, okay. All right. We could do that.
Oh, I know we can. We can until we get told to stop.
Wonder if there'll be a khakis inspection before we go in.
I hope not, because I'm not wearing khakis.
I think the no shorts thing was directed at me and Diesel.
The no jeans thing was for me because I wear jeans
Right.
99%
Right.
of the
So
time.
yeah. You think the dark side's allowed to wear jeans? Jeans are rock and roll,
I'm gonna say
man.
this.
Jeans are rock and roll. You can't be wearing khakis if you're on a rock and roll station.
If the rock and roll dudes show up in jeans, I brought a pair of jeans. They're in the office. If the rock and roll dudes are in jeans, I'm going to lobby that we should be in jeans because our show specifically is rock and roll.
Absolutely.
Our show is rock and roll. Literally, when we were picking our music, we were told rock and roll, right? Which is 100% fine by me. But what I'm wearing right now is not rock and roll. What I'm wearing right now is I listen to John Denver in my spare time. Don't get me wrong, I do.
Rocky Mountain High,
Colorado. I listened to John Denver this weekend. No joke.
No, thank you.
He was born in the summer of his 27th year.
What? I'm glad khakis is not required at the ratings party
Oh, no.
because that would be I just wouldn't go.
I'm going home. I'm changing into all black. I'm putting on eye liner, guy liner. I'm going to take all the hair and swoop it forward and down. I'm going to go exact opposite of this.
So you're like going to be Adam Ant or whatever the equivalent is
Yeah,
these days.
I'm going My Chemical Romance.
There we go. Okay. Which they just released a new song.
I saw that, actually.
And so Owen mentioned it, and watching T2 critique it, I don't like it. It's like, okay, all right. I
The
do.
video?
No, you didn't like the song.
The song
I
itself.
liked it. So it may be geared towards the style that I like, which is more alternative. I'm not a metalhead like Rob Brown. Lamb of God.
Megadeth.
Let me get a Ric Flair woo.
My man said, Greenville, South Carolina, can I get a Ric Flair woo? Woo. We're not doing a show intro for the top of the... Is this the new hour? No, it's too late now. It's too late. The mic's on, Lonzo. Kind of dig this one anyway. This is a good liner. We're rock and roll, Lonzo, you know? We are rock and roll. Hour number 2 of the Rob Brown Show starts right now. This is the Fan Upstate. I am Rob. The great one. The professor of perfection. The wizard of wave. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the hype. He is the selling point. He is Lonzo.
Thank you for the teamwork there. No one would have noticed if you hadn't pointed it out.
Pointed what out? I didn't say anything.
Oops.
I said nothing. I just said it's the start of the second hour of the show.
I should be sent home right now.
No, the punishment is go put on your khakis and finish the show in them.
No.
Hey, let me ask you if this is if this was a good idea, bad idea. So, and I wanted to ask you, this past Saturday, on my nationally syndicated show, Bet for the Cycle, with Rob Brown and former Major League Baseball player Cody Decker, we have a producer, Lonzo, named Mario. He is no Lonzo, but you know what he is?
You mean he does his job well? Is that what you mean? Okay, fine, I get it.
That's not what I meant. I meant he is no Lonzo. You know what he is? He is my T2. All right? He is my Tim Snow. He's got long, gorgeous locks of hair, full locks of hair, and is trying to make it in this world. Right. So, 2 weeks ago on the show, Lonzo, we do home run props, right? Every week we do a home run prop. And a home run prop is you bet on a guy to hit a home run on the day, right? You hit a home run, you win the prop. If he does it, you lose it. Well, Mario, all the way back in week 2 of the show, lost the bet. And so, in week number 3 of the show, we gave him a get-out-of-jail-free card in that he could have a home run prop. And he called Tim Anderson. Now, Tim Anderson, the day before, so Friday, had 2 home runs. Saturday, going up against the same team in the same ballpark. He's been hitting the ball well, been on base most of the weekend. He says, home run prop. Now, the bet that we made was a double or nothing bet, Lonzo, where if Tim Anderson hits a home run, he is off the hook. However, because of another random conversation that we had, where we announced that, or we found out that Super Mario had never seen the movie The Crow. You know The Crow, right, Lonzo?
Yes, I'm aware of The Crow, yes.
Okay. Mario said, I've never seen The Crow, and since I've never seen The Crow, it must not be that good of a movie.
Wow.
Right. Well, he thoroughly infuriated Cody Decker and I on the show. So the bet became, if Tim Anderson hits a home run, Zoe, he's off the hook for his other lost bet. But if he does not, Super Mario had to show up the next week and do the entire 4-hour show wearing crow makeup. Tim Anderson did not hit a home run, Lonzo. So for 4 hours, Mario had to be on screen wearing makeup from The Crow. And he did it.
Way to pay up a bet. I will say the makeup needs some work, but the hair, you're right. The hair's
good, right?
Yeah, not as good as Tim's, though.
No, but he's my T2. So he made the bet, which is fine. He lost the bet. He paid up, which is great. Then we got to this past Saturday, and we started talking about prop bets again. Now, at the end of last week, he made another prop bet. The bet was that if, who was it? I think Mike Trout hits a home run. He would be done. But if not, he had to wear the crow makeup into a Chick-fil-A for lunch. He had to go into a Chick-fil-A. He lives in Indianapolis, Indiana,
okay,
by the way.
Why Chick-fil-A? Why would you pick Chick-fil-A?
Why would we not pick Chick-fil-A?
Okay, so what you're saying is that the crow makeup is evil. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that a lot of people don't know the crow.
That clowns are evil?
And if you do, yes.
That mimes are evil?
Yes. And if you don't know what the crow is, he's just the dude that just rolled into the house of the Lord's chicken with white and black face paint and a trench coat on. It's not going to go great for him.
I'm sure he was treated respectfully because that's what they do.
Well, here's the
there.
thing. He didn't do it. Okay? He did not come through on that bet. So This Friday, or excuse me.
By the way, in his defense, in this day and age, probably not a good move with all the things that are going on.
I agree.
Especially this past weekend.
This was before this past weekend.
All right.
Right? So this was before this past weekend. So then we got to this past Saturday. Now, Cody Decker said, because you did not go to your fast food restaurant with the crow makeup on, now you have to go to a real restaurant, a sit-down, nice restaurant with the crow makeup on and have a full meal. Mario said, will you give me a chance to square up? We said, what do you have in mind? Here's the bet that he wanted. He would pick 2 players to hit a home run on Saturday. He picked 2 players. If 2 of the 2 players he picked hit a home run, Cody Decker and I would have to have a punishment. We would have a lost bet. We would take a punishment on the show. If neither of the 2 home runs hit, he had to go to a restaurant in Indy dressed as the Crow and have a nice sit-down dinner, and Cody Decker got to set the reservation of where and when. And if one of the 2 guys hit a home run, he goes back to the original bet of he's got to go to a Chick-fil-A in the Crow makeup and sit down and eat Chick-fil-A. Now, he can go in, order, eat his fast thing, get in and out, but he has to go in, order, sit down, eat the food, and then get up and leave, right? Well, neither guy hit a home run. He picked Tim Anderson and Mike Trout. Neither guy went yard. So, Cody Decker decided that Super Mario... Oh, and by the way, the day after Tim Anderson did not hit a home run, starting the Crow makeup thing, Super Mario got on Twitter and said, good morning to everyone in America except Tim Anderson, which was retweeted by Tim Anderson with the tweet, shut yo hating ass up. So now on the show, his nickname is Hating Ass Mario, thanks to Tim Anderson. However, I was a bit nervous on Saturday because when we accepted the bet, sight unseen on the punishment, had both of those guys hit a home run, Lonzo, the punishment would have been that Cody Decker and I had to shave our beards off live on the stream during next Saturday's show. We both had to go clean shaven next Saturday on the air. The girlfriend told me, had that bet been lost, I would have been sleeping in the guest room for 2 weeks.
I was going to say, I wonder how that would cost you at home.
Yeah, so, she was not a fan of that. She was not a fan of that. I was like 85% confident there was no chance both of them were going yard. That's a big ask. Big ask to get 2 guys to go yard. Dumb bet or not, because I made it, now we get video of Hating Ass Mario having to go to a Fleming Steakhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana, dressed as the Crow to have a dinner.
All right, so I don't know what a Fleming Steakhouse is.
It's a very nice steakhouse.
Well, I figured it probably was. The other thing is, how many people will think he's coming as a Crow, and how many people will think he's coming as a Joker? And see.
Oh, my immediate thought is a lot of people are going to think Juggalo, right? He's an ICP guy.
I don't know.
Which is worse.
Is he insane clown posse big in Indy?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Also, he didn't know who the ICP was, so we decided to let that one lie.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, that's kind of at least if you were a wrestling fan, you might know who they are.
Keegan said, you don't know, Chick-fil-A could have some Sting fans.
They could.
Ooh.
They absolutely could.
They could. He had a very Dollar General Sting look to him.
As someone who dressed as a mime for a good portion of a day, I think people are a little more accepting than you think.
I mean, here's the thing.
But we have mime clothes on too, so you can look like a mime but dress like the Crow. And my mime makeup would have worked as Crow makeup. So
here's the thing: if a dude rolls up into a Chick-fil-A dressed as the Crow, as a fan of the movie The Crow with Dylan Lee, I'm gonna be like, yo, that's sick, dude. I love it. If you don't know The Crow with Dylan Lee, who's gonna be the guy that rolls up and talks to the crazy person in the fake Sting makeup.
It was not Dylan Lee. I think it was. Jason.
No.
It was Brandon. It was Brandon Lee.
Yeah, you're right.
It was
You're
Brandon.
right.
The other thing is, we know the majority, or it seems like the majority of Chick-fil-A workers are younger. They're high school kids and things like that. So chances are none of them are going to know who that is. So they're immediately, when I see someone dressed like that, I think Joker. And that would have you have some concerns.
As this texter said, I think my guy Mario needs to lay off the sports betting because he's not very good.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be very good at it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who's filming him going to this restaurant?
Texter says, someone who clearly knows my past, beardless Rob Brown looks like a baritone in a Baptist quartet. It's not wrong.
Hey, I
wrong.
look forward to someday doing the show with Wesley Crusher, and I'm sure everyone else out there would love to see that.
You don't
the
see,
nerd talk we could have.
You don't want to see beardless Rob Brown. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. Anyway, was that I'm assuming, because I'm not a star, that was Will Wheaton's character, wasn't it?
Yes.
Young Will Wheaton's
Yes, it
character.
was.
Pre-bearded Will Wheaton's character. Yeah.
It's okay to not be a Star Trek fan.
I get that a lot.
It's all right.
Texture says, who the bleep is the Crow? I have no idea. I think crazy person whenever I see a trench coat in general. The Crow was a movie made by Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee, which is a phenomenal movie. It's very cult following movie. Unfortunately, Brandon Lee was killed towards the end of the filming in that movie because he was shot with a gun that had a blank in it. But depending on what storage you got, I don't think it was a live bullet. I think there was a piece of wax on the end of the blank cartridge, and the wax actually shot him, penetrated him, and killed him. So they had to go back and basically finish the last couple of scenes of that movie because Brandon Lee's family was like, nope, this was his passion project, release this movie. They had to go back and finish it using visual effects and a stuntman to fill in where Brandon Lee would have been. But a phenomenal movie. A phenomenal movie. All right. Texter said, bleeping Brandon Lee. Also, just want to rant about the NWO promo. Bro, it gets under my skin when you reference Scott Hall and Razor Ramon as two different people. Come on, man. Look, you have to understand that I was big into wrestling for both Scott Hall and Razor Ramon, right? They are two different characters for me, like portrayed by one guy, right? That'd be like saying, don't say Maverick. And what was Tom Cruise's character in Mission Impossible? You don't know either. Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
I've seen like 6 or 7 of them, or however many. I've seen them all, and I don't remember.
Ethan Hunt. That's right.
There we go.
That'd be like, don't refer to Maverick and Ethan Hunt. They're different. Like they're different. They're one dude, but they're different. Come on, Josh. Come on, Skrilla. You know better. You know better. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming up in this hour of the show. Not only will I probably make fun of hating-ass Mario later, but Deion Sanders has come out. I'm interested to see Lonzo's reaction to this. Deion Sanders has come out and proposed a massive change because he says, as it is, NIL will keep the balance of power shifted towards bigger schools. So he has proposed a change to NIL that does not impact the players at all. So we'll get you that. Plus, Sports Illustrated, now that the schedules are out, SI has put out their projected win-loss totals for every NFL team. We'll take a look at those. I'll tell you the ones I like and I don't like. And on top of all of that, ladies and gentlemen, horse drama, horse controversy. I'm going to let the anxiety of that one sit for just a minute because I know, based on last week, how much all of you care about horse racing. So since so many of you wanted horse racing talk, I'm going to give you the horse drama later on in the show. Rob, the Wizard of Wave, Lonzo, this is the Fan Upstate.
Charisma. So I was watching a YouTube video of Elden Ring tips, and there's this skull that you can get that goes in an accessory slot, and it causes all the enemies to come at you because you're aggressive. So there's a thing called a mimic tier. You get it later on, and it's your exact copy.
Right.
So you put the thing on, you bring the mimic up, then you take the thing off.
And they go after it.
And the bosses go after it. And it works.
Does it have like your hit points though?
He's
like
a little bit weaker, but he still does damage. So if you have whatever weapons you have equipped, whatever spells, they do it.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I say, I'm not going to spend too long on this thing, knowing full well it's about to start a riot. Texter says, I am strictly here for Chick-fil-A slander. Overrated, overrated, overrated. And the very next text says, fan, tell that Chick-fil-A hater he can kiss my bleep. Respectfully, of course. There's a lot of polarizing fast food takes out there. Chick-fil-A might be the most polarizing of the fast food takes. Because people either love the Chick-fil-A or think that, because the problem is the folks that love the Chick-fil-A speak about the exaltedness of the Chick-fil-A as if there is no other chicken restaurant. It is the chicken of chickens.
See, I always took that as a thing like Duke's mayonnaise and boiled peanuts and grits down here that you have to. The Chick-fil-A is on the same level, except maybe a little bit higher than all of those. It's all right. I mean, it's not. I don't go, I've got to have Chick-fil-A today. There are people like that. They got to have their Chick-fil-A, and I think that's kind of weird. But I don't want to wait in line forever to get the food's not good enough to wait for that. And I'm sure there are some lines that are quicker than others, but I don't know where those are.
For the record, I like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I mean but again, it's fast food chicken. It's not like you're going out. Just like the whole Popeyes chicken craze. Oh, I got to get this. I got to have this. It's like, dude.
That's the correct one.
No, that's
Popeyes chicken's phenomenal.
It's devil chicken.
It's not devil chicken.
It's the opposite of Chick-fil-A.
How is it devil chicken?
Because it's Cajun.
Because it's not Chick-fil-A.
Because it's Cajun.
Just because it's not Chick-fil-A.
That's Cajun. That's why Rob has to go there. So it's the same sort of thing. It's a regional thing. So I didn't even
think it's just better.
I didn't think about that. I think you love it because of Louisiana.
No, it's just better.
So you're saying the Louisiana thing has nothing to do with that?
I think everybody is drawn to the type of food that they are raised with, right? And yes, Popeye's chicken is breaded, fried, spiced up the way I would
By the way,
my chicken
it's just more fast food chicken. But
it's not though.
It is.
Texter says, Lonzo, do not start the boiled peanut and Duke's mayo slander today. No, that's every day for the great one.
There is no slander. It's just my opinion. If you take it as slanderous, that means you may worship at the ground of those products that you're talking about.
Texter says, Popeyes is better than Chick-fil-A if you don't mind waiting an extra 15 minutes for food. I don't when it's that much better. See, Popeyes.
And see, I may like Zaxby's better, which I actually do. I like Zaxby's better than both of those. And sometimes I like KFC better. So
KFC should not exist in a world where there's Popeyes.
Okay,
it just shouldn't.
Yeah, I think
it is clearly inferior fried chicken.
I think sometimes it goes beyond what you were raised on and takes another level, like your disdain for Chick-fil-A and your love for Popeyes.
No, I do not have disdain. I literally just said I like Chick-fil-A. Stop lying.
Well, if you love Popeyes, you have to hate Chick-fil-A.
No,
that's how that works.
All right. Bobby texts in and says Popeyes is so much better than Chick-fil-A. Texter says, give me Popeye's chicken sandwiches and Zaxby's sauce and bread. I like that take. I do like some Zaxby's sauce.
The Zax sauce is really good.
It is. It is. All right. Let me get to this. Two quick things. Number one, yesterday, Drew Brees decided Twitter's boring. Let's spice it up just a little bit, and did just that. Yesterday, Drew Brees sent out a tweet that said, quote, well, first off, it came out of a report that Drew Brees would no longer be on the NBC broadcast team, that he would be leaving the NBC broadcast team. Brees came out and said, despite speculation from media about my future this fall, I'm currently undecided. I may work for NBC. I may play football again. I may focus on business and philanthropy. I may train for the pickleball tour, senior golf tour, coach my kids, or all of the above. I'll let you know. End quote. Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Brees is not coming to save your team or mine, for the record. All right? And even if he does, he won't be able to. Now, you know that I'm a big Saints fan. And you know that Drew Brees, I firmly believe Drew Brees and Sean Payton both saved the New Orleans Saints because the Saints were packing their bags for either San Antonio or Oklahoma City and moving the team. And then all of a sudden, Reggie Bush and Deuce McAllister and Sean Payton and Drew Brees showed up and they saved the Saints. So, you know that I am a big Drew Brees guy. I'm a big fan, and I said towards the end of his time in New Orleans, Drew Brees can do whatever the hell he wants. If he wants to play till he's 100, that's fine. But I do not need Drew Brees back in New Orleans. Love the guy, don't want him back. The last year, he just did not have the arm strength. The precision was still there, but he did not have the strength. So basically, defenses could just walk guys up. Now, I think Drew Brees thought this would be funny because he looked at the Saints wide receiver squad. Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, and now Jarvis Landry. Now, Lonzo, I got to tell you, I don't want to say this because it's going to come across as bias, but I got to say New Orleans has got one of the best three wide receiver squads in the NFL now, right?
It's
assuming Olave doesn't suck.
It's very good. He won't. He's from Ohio State. They do pretty well receiver-wise. There's some other positions, maybe not so much.
Sure.
But who's going to throw the ball to him?
Jabu.
Do you trust in Jameis to get the ball to these guys?
So, we talked about narratives a little bit last week and how sometimes the narrative is more impactful than what's actually happening, right? The narrative about Jabu, and understandably so, is that he's an INT machine, right? Because of the 30 for 30 year. 30 picks,
by the way,
30 touchdowns.
I didn't mean it for that reason because he got LASIK. He's good. At least that's what he said. So when he played last year, it was pretty good.
Well.
I'm more concerned about the injuries.
And that's fair. That's fair.
And who's the backup? We know who the backup is.
The Red Missile.
Can he
Andy freaking Dalton.
Can Andy Dalton throw the ball to these guys?
Or like Andy Darton, right? No. Look. I am pumped. I am pumped about the wide receiver core. I'm sure Drew Brees was having a little fun.
But there's an obvious answer to. There's one truth in what he tweeted. There's one obscure thing that stands out that makes me think that's exactly what he's going to do.
And that is?
Pickleball. He's doing pickleball because you don't just, that's just not, you just don't throw that out there. That doesn't just pop in your head.
I don't know, man. Pickleball has kind of become the go-to your old joke.
Is
right?
it? Because I just had to look it up. I had no idea what it was.
Pickleball is for tennis for people who don't want to run.
It looks like tennis with tabletop tennis rackets.
Yeah, it is. It's tennis for people who don't want to run. It's like tennis on like a 25% the same size court and with a really slow-moving ball. And it turns out if you hit the ball hard in pickleball, the old people get mad at you for it.
Well, all the pictures that it popped up were old ladies in visors.
It's tennis for old people who don't want to run, right?
Whatever happened to shuffleboard? I was looking forward to that.
I don't know. Shuffleboard's kind of gone by the wayside. It's now the rage is all pickleball now.
Yeah, but shuffleboard to me is like, curling without the ice. I'm good with that. I ain't playing no pickleball.
So Drew Brees is not coming back. Now, that led me to another tweet that I saw come out over the weekend, and it involved your Carolina Panthers. Now, I saw this one. And I put up a tweet about it. Follow me on Twitter at The Rob Brown Show. At The Rob Brown Show. I put up a tweet about it because Google on my phone gives me news updates, including some that are like blog updates. And a website called Panthers Wire. And Panthers Wire is the affiliate of, who was it? Sports Illustrated? USA Today. Panthers Wire is the affiliate of USA Today. And they put up 2 articles this weekend. One of them went up earlier this morning entitled, Panthers Could Be Desperate Enough to Make a Run at Drew Brees. The other one that went up over the weekend that I put up on Twitter said, Panthers Cowboys to get into bidding war for former Saints head coach Peyton? ? Panthers, couple of things. Number one, calm down on Drew Brees, all right? Calm down on Drew Brees. The Drew Brees thing makes you seem like the guy at the bar that the waitress was like, thanks, honey, and now all of a sudden the guy at the bar is like, she likes me. I think she loves me. I got to ask her out, right? Dude, if Drew Brees was going to come back, do you think it's for the Carolina Panthers? No. If Drew Brees was coming back, he's coming back to a Super Bowl ready team. You are not Super Bowl ready, even with Drew Brees.
Yeah, but can he come back to another team?
I believe the Saints still own the right to
Yeah.
him.
So,
which is also true of former head coach Sean Payton, right? Now, I could see Sean Payton coming back to Dallas, right? Sean Payton had that connection with Dallas. I could see Sean Payton coming back to Dallas. I don't think he'd come back to New Orleans, not because he wouldn't want to pick New Orleans, but because he wouldn't want to do Dennis Allen dirty like that, right? He and Dennis Allen are boys. When he finally stepped aside, Dennis Allen got his chance to prove that his run with the Raiders was a fluke, not a flop. I could see him coming back to Dallas if the Cowboys decided to go in a different direction with their head coach. But if that was the case, Miami would be interested in him if they don't end up keeping their new guy, etc. It would be an absolute bidding war, okay? Because whoever gets Sean Payton has to pay the Saints for the contract. And just like you guys were limited in the draft this year because there's not a ton of capital available, what are you going to put up to outbid the Dallas Cowboys to bring in Sean Payton and replace Matt Rule? It's a pipe dream. It's not happening. Sean Payton will not come to the Panthers. It's just not going to happen. Sean Payton, if he comes back, and I think there's a chance he does down the line, although I think there's also a chance that Sean Payton's just like, no, dude, turns out I like retirement. He stepped away for a reason. And I don't think the reason was the Saints are bad. Because, look, Lonzo, do you think Sean Payton having Jameis Winston, a guy that he made the move to bring in, working with Alvin Kamara out of the backfield, Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, and Jarvis Landry as his front three, do you think the offensive-minded Sean Payton, if he wanted back in, wouldn't have gone, yo, New Orleans, never mind, I'll take my job back, keep my office empty?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing would, well, either he or Drew Brees, either one of those guys would want back in with that lineup, I would think.
Yeah, I think so. The Drew Brees joke came out of the fact that this wide receiver core in New Orleans, I think the only one that might be better than it is maybe Las Vegas, right? With Devontae Adams added to it, maybe Las Vegas. I don't know that there's a better wide receiver core available in the league now than the Saints. And with Alvin Kamara behind it, assuming he's allowed to play this year. I mean, if you're Drew Brees, the joke there is, if I was going to come back, this would be the lineup I come back for, right? This would be the lineup I want to come back for. That's a Super Bowl caliber offense paired up with a defense that was pretty damn good last year. Let's give it a run. We'll see how it goes. If Sean Payton was going to come back, this would be the offense he'd want to come back and be an offensive coach about, right? Of course. I got no disrespect for the Carolina Panthers. Again, I need y'all to be good, right? I need y'all to be good. I got told the other day, the Carolina Kickoff Show is back on for this year. I will be broadcasting the pregame for your Carolina Panthers every Sunday, all right? I need y'all to be good. But if you are pinning your next generation of success on getting Sean Payton away from New Orleans and the Dallas Cowboys, good luck. Good luck. And by the way, you'll notice, because I got the texter saying, wouldn't be the first time a Saints guy went to Carolina. Sure, it's happened. It's the NFL, man. We've had guys go to Atlanta, Carolina, Tampa Bay, and we've had guys from all three of those squads come to us. At the end of the day, football players are hired mercenaries, man. You know that. This is not, oh, Sean wouldn't go there because it's in division. No, that doesn't matter. That's irrelevant, right? He wouldn't care if the paycheck was right. I'm telling you, don't hang your hat on that. Because you don't have the money or resources to outbid the Dallas Cowboys to get Sean Payton, who, by the way, if he wants back in, will want to be a Cowboy. That's where he started his rise to head coaching. Everybody thought he was in line to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys until he wasn't. It's not the play, man. Drew Brees and Sean Payton are not the play for the Carolina Panthers. They're not. You'd be better focused to see if Matt Rule can develop your team this year, and if not, to start finding the right coordinator for the job next year. Because it ain't Payton, and you better start working on a new quarterback, Matt Corral or whoever is going to be next year. Because Sam Darnold ain't it. Good quarterback crop next year. Maybe you find the guy. Maybe Matt Corral's the guy. I just said Corral. Sorry. Matt Corral's the guy. Maybe. But you would be better served putting your focus on those guys than you would be trying to talk Drew Brees out of retirement and trying to buy Sean Payton from the Saints. Which, by the way, keep in mind, if you had the capital to get Sean Payton's rights away from New Orleans, you do understand what you're doing, right? You're putting more resources into your divisional rival that now has Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Jarvis Landry, Alvin Kamara, and a Jameis Winston, who was 3.5-1 touchdowns to interceptions last year. You want to pump more resources into that? I doubt it. Focus on what you got. Don't buy into this hype machine because you will walk away disappointed, Panthers fans. Let's take a break. We're back after this to wrap up hour number 2 of the Rob Brown Show. This is the Fan Upstate. Tell you about my friends at Harley Davidson of Greenville. Ladies and gentlemen, Harley Davidson of Greenville. I know. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Wow.
Oh, wow. Step 2, right. You should be good.
2 hops this time.
Hopefully that's not a sign to come at the bowling alley later. You're going to be there for, or are you coming later?
I'll be there for. I'm gonna. So we get half an hour. So I'm gonna see if I can go find a pair of. I'm gonna. Where's the Target on Woodruff? Do you know? Is it close?
That way.
Is it like close though? Like, can I make it there and back in half an hour?
With traffic at noon? No.
No.
Dude, he's not going to say anything.
Well, I gotta bring those khakis back anyway because they don't fit, and it'll be. I'd like to be like, who's motivation for me to lose weight, but I know me. Steven, welcome in, big dog. Good to have you, buddy. Stream's quiet today, man.
It is.
Stream's quiet. I'm going to blame it on Monday.
I would like to get in there a little bit earlier if possible to see how other people are doing their shoots. But it's salespeople ahead of us.
I'm sure their salespeople are doing it this morning.
Well, they've got them scheduled ahead of us. They're before us.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's not like it's my first photo shoot. I mean, been to a bunch of these. This seems to be the tightest one. Never had requirements before. Keegan wants to know if Kevin's wearing a suit.
So, Kevin, we were golfing yesterday with Kevin and Glenn, who's the new guy. And he turns to me and he goes, what are you wearing for school picture day tomorrow? And I said, oh, polo and khakis. And he's like, what the hell? I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, they told us we have to wear a suit. He's like, I think I'm going to go suit, no tie. And so I was like, if I was in sales, I would send the email right now to be like, we're wearing ties tomorrow, right? But I'm not a jerk, so I didn't do that.
Well, if we had to wear a suit and a tie, there would be a requirement about the tie. No bow ties. No southern necktie. No, because we'd go straight up Colonel Sanders if we could, if we had to.
Bolo.
There we go.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2 of the Rob Brown Show right here on the Fan Upstate. Just listen. Stop. Just stop. Stop with the Sean Payton stuff. Just stop. Everybody, just calm down.
So you're asking people to be realistic about their expectations for their team.
Yeah, what a jerk.
Yeah, and, fanatics, fans, if you will, are not going to do that. You're always looking to improve, and let's face it, Sean Payton probably, more than likely, most definitely an improvement.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not arguing with that.
Although, and this is not being mean to you, how many Super Bowls did he win?
Singular.
Yeah, so, I mean,
but is that, again, like, if I ask you right now, who do you want coaching your team next year, Sean Payton or Matt Rule, Lonzo? The answer is
Andy Reid.
There you go. Andy Reid, which is definitely one of the 2 options I gave you.
That's how you handle options, so, I'm just following
I just make
suit.
up my own.
Yeah.
What do you like? I like the thing I like, not the thing you like. That's what I like. Hey! NHL. Have you watched any games yet, Lonzo? Have you watched even a portion of an NHL Stanley Cup playoff game yet?
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces, but it was the last round. I haven't seen as much this time around.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Because I've been watching basketball and other things.
So. The biggest problem the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs have is they're on at the same time as the NBA playoffs. That's their biggest problem, right? We were talking about this on my nationally syndicated sports talk gambling show on Saturday from 1 to 5, Bet for the Cycle with me and former Major League Baseball player Cody Decker on the BetQL Network and the Odyssey app. We got to talking about the different playoffs going on, whatnot. Cody said, I'd like to watch more NBA, but it's just, it's on during baseball. And I'm like, yeah, but you are a baseball guy, right? You're a baseball guy. And that's not to say Cody's not a sports guy, because he is. Likes golf, likes football, etc. But he's a baseball guy. You have your sport of choice. Yeah. And if that sport is on, that's where you're going. Yeah. If he's a baseball guy, if baseball was on during football season, he wouldn't be watching football. He'd still be watching baseball because he's a baseball guy. Well, it kind of is on during football season. Well, you got a little crossover. October, just like 2 months. September, October. If there's a big baseball game on during college football Saturday, Cody Decker is watching baseball because he's a baseball guy, right? There's a lot of people that I think I could genuinely talk into watching hockey, especially, by the way, yesterday, Zoe. Not 1, but 2 Game 7s. Oh, and by the way, on Saturday, Lonzo, not 2, but 3 Game 7s. Hockey had 5 Game 7s this weekend. 5 Game 7s. The Hurricanes beat Brad. Suck it, Brad. The Hurricanes beat Brad and the Bruins 3-2 in Game 7. A Game 7 that the Bruins scored in the third period, drew within 1, and had the heels reeling just a little bit. The Lightning beat the Maple Leafs 2-1. That is 18 consecutive lost playoff series for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Lonzo, 18 consecutive years they made the playoffs and got bounced in the first round. Yeah, I saw some post game for that. Ooh. Yeah. 18. Their playoff losing streak has had a driver's license for 2 years. Would you rather not make the playoffs at all than lose that many years in a row in the playoffs? No, I want to go because you can't win if you're not in them. That's true. But if I'm a Maple Leafs fan, there comes a point that when they make the playoffs, I'm not watching the first round. Come on, Canada. You created the sport, right? I mean, I hate that trope, and I hate that trope because if you look at any NHL roster, there's 4 Americans on it. There's 50 Canadians and 50 internationals. And a bunch of Russian guys. Yeah. You look at any NHL roster, like I know that we like to joke, the Lightning, the Tampa Bay Lightning are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. It's like, go look at their roster, though. Wait a minute. There's no ice in Florida. There is. It's in the margaritas. You look down the roster. Let's see. I'll count them just because I'm bored. 1. He's not really bored. That's just a figure of speech. 4. He's really excited to be on this program. Hey, how many Americans did I say were on any given NHL roster? You said 4. Yeah, there's 5 on Tampa. So they're overloaded with Americans. Well, that's why they're winning. Yeah. Let's see. France, Canada, America. Canada, Canada, Russia, U.S. Canada, Czech. Canada, 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 Canada. U.S., Slovakia, U.S., Sweden, U.S., Czech Republic, Russia, Canada, Russia. Yeah. It's Canadians can win, just not on a Canadian team. Right, just Canadian teams can't. Canadian franchises. 18 consecutive first-round bumps for the Maple Leafs. The Oilers, in the only Game 7 that was not determined by a single goal, the Oilers scored late, and the Kings get sent back to L.A., so Edmonton moves on 2-0. So 3 great Game 7s on Saturday. On Sunday, 2 more. Rangers over the Penguins 4-3. And late, oh, by the way, that went in overtime. And if you didn't get your fill of overtime, by the way, overtime in the NHL, Lonzo, first goal wins. First one wins.
Which could be 3 hours later, but
it also could be 17 seconds in. I love playoff hockey. If one overtime at Madison Square with the hometown Rangers getting the dub wasn't quite good enough, then last night in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, at the Scotiabank Saddle Dome, the Calgary Flames knocked off the Dallas Stars 3-2. Guys, if you're not watching Stanley Cup playoff hockey, you are missing the hell out. Trust me. Trust me. Speaking of, Kyle Sullivan of the Locked On Podcast Network will be joining us tomorrow to talk a little hockey. Stay tuned for that. 1 hour left. We hit it hard when we come back. Rob Lonzo, this is the Fan Upstate. The NHL version of the Hornets. Seb coming in blazing hot. I like it.
I don't see what.
Now you can buy the used car you want with a fixed, low-rate loan from Lightstream.
The loan process was so easy. I signed up for it and completed the process while getting my hair done.
I had my money the same day with Lightstream. Having that cash helps me get a much better deal. And the Lightstream payments are so affordable.
Now you can get the money you need fast for the used car you love with Lightstream. Loans start at just
CBS Sports Radio.
with autopay and excellent credit when you buy from the dealership. Apply today at lightstream.com/rate and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/RATE for your extra discount. Lightstream.com/rate.
Subject to credit approval, rates range from 3.99% APR to 9.49% APR and include a 0.5% auto pay discount. Lowest rates apply. Section and credit terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/rate for more information.
And though that's where we begin, the Celtics might have advanced anyway. The Bucks missing Chris Middleton was a huge advantage for Boston. No excuses, just reality, says Giles.
Make excuses, we know how to please, and always going to be tough,
Every time I see Rob walk in wearing dress pants, I feel like he's about to ask what dish you're bringing to the Deacon's potluck. Good reference.
maybe I should borrow the label maker and put on my khakis, not
Khakis.
my khakis, or anti-khakis. I don't know.
Hey, it's Amy Lawrence. Be sure to listen to CBS Sports Radio at home and ask Alexa to play CBS Sports Radio.
My favorite thing about the Upstate is the pride I sense in each of you that you're from here. It's evident in all you do. Since 1916,
Rob.
Smith & James men's clothing has been an Upstate staple. They are
like
the
it.
fabric of the community, literally.
I dig it.
Because they succeed at their mission to make you
When are you releasing it?
Well, that's one version. This one I don't like as much because I don't like me in this one. And finally, the third one, which I don't know. This one,
The first one showed me.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the first one because I like me as the king.
Yeah.
So, and it's the one that looks most like me, and the one that looks most like Cameron. All right, where's the mime? There's supposed to be a mime falling from the sky somewhere. Oh, there he is. There he is. You gotta look really, really close, but he's up there. There's that little dot up to the. Yeah, you can't tell it's a mime, but we know. We joked about on the show that there'd be a mime out going like this, trying to stop the two armies from fighting. But as I told Cameron, we can't do that because you wouldn't see it because it's right behind us.
And also, I promise you, the captain of Team Sex Panther would not stop for a mime.
Oh, no.
In fact, I would enjoy
Oh, no,
making him the first casualty.
The joke would be who got to kill the mime first. That would be the joke. There might even be a momentary truce while the mime is taken out before the actual battle starts. But I need to get it on a bigger screen so I can look at it closer to see if there's anything else I want in there. I think he needs to move the logo up and the title of the comic underneath the logo. I don't know. And I didn't look to see. There's supposed to be a red wispy cloud where the shadow is that looks like an eye of the eye of Pappy. So QC connects in the first break. Steven, it's a gift that keeps on giving, you know? That's what you got to do. Got to play it straight, though. You got to.
One of the guys I saw it with on Wednesday last week was like, I have to pee. I'm like, you got to wait till last cutscene. He's like, I have to pee so bad. I'm like, trust me, it's worth the wait. He's like, dude, I'm not going to make it. I'm like, Clay, watch it. It's great. Wait. It gets done, and he angry glared at me while he's running out the theater. Hour number 3 of the Rob Brown Show goes now. This is the Fan Upstate. Hello, Upstate South Carolina. Hello, America. Hello, world. I am Rob Brown. Directly across from me, the Wizard of Wave, the Professor of Perfection, the Content Cash Cow, Colonel Grudge, hashtag Dad Kicks. He is the selling point. Lonzo, in charge of the broadcast. Good show so far on a Monday. Got a lot of weekend content to break through. We've done a lot of NBA as the Mavs blow out the Suns. The Boston Celtics pour it on the defending champs. Both of last year's NBA championship competitors get absolutely bombed in their game 7s. There's a lot of what went wrong discussion, and it's fair, right? What went wrong that both teams that competed in the NBA championship finals last year would not show up this year? There's a lot that went wrong. For the Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker forgot how to be a star. CP3 Dorian Grade himself. And without the two of them, the rest of the team had no idea how to respond to it, right? That is one of the big problems that you bump into in the NBA, is that if your stars are on the floor but not showing up, teams don't know how to respond, right? Because here's my question. And I think it's a very fair one. If you are out there with Devin Booker, if you are out there with Chris Paul, if you are out there playing with those two cats, and let's say theoretically, just making up numbers right now, if Devin Booker is going 3 of 14 from the floor, 0 of 4 from behind the arc, if Chris Paul, the point guard, is going 4 assists, averaging 1 assist per quarter, if they are anybody else but those two, you say, stop giving them the ball, right? This guy's shooting 20% from the floor and 0% from deep. Stop giving him the ball. Somebody else step the hell up and do something. But last night, there was nobody else. Miles Bridges, 3 of 11 from the floor, 0 of 3 from deep. Jay Crowder, 2 of 9 from the floor, 1 of 6 from deep. DeAndre Ayton, 2 of 5 from the floor, did not shoot a 3. The problem, there is a difference in teams, and I don't have numbers in front of me to support this because I came up with this theory back during the first hour when we talked about this. Lonzo, there is a massive difference in a team whose star is not playing versus a team whose star is playing but sucks. Last night, D-Book and CP3 sucked. Both of them. Both of them played really poorly. And at that point, DeAndre Ayton, who had been playing pretty well in games without CP3 or when D-Book has been out. Jay Crowder in spots where D-Book and CP3 were out. Those guys had taken over a few games in the regular season and showed out a little bit during the playoffs. But because Book and CP3 were bad, they kept trying to force the rock to D-Book and CP3. And in trying to force the offense to go through D-Book and CP3, the offense kept sputtering out. They didn't know how to handle it. The Mavericks, on the other hand, took full advantage of what was going wrong. The Mavericks, on the other hand, saw what was going wrong, saw why it was going wrong for the Suns, and attacked that. Hell, keep giving it to Chris Paul. He can't do anything with it. Keep giving it to Devin Booker. He can't hit the broadside of a barn right now. And Jay Crowder, Miles Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, none of these guys could get anything going because they kept trying to force the offense back through Chris Paul, back through Devin Booker. And when you try to run the offense through not just one, but two superstars who are not getting it done, you are taking the ball out of the hands of other guys who might break it open for you. What changes last night? What changes if Jay Crowder has the opportunity to do what he's done in games past and find a stroke from 3 instead of effectively being a buzzer beater, shot clock beating last option? What happens if Mikal Bridges last night is allowed to be anything other than a last resort? Now, granted, now that one of those guys shot particularly well, 2 of 9 from the floor for Crowder, 1 of 6 deep, 3 of 11 from the floor for Mikal Bridges, 0 of 3 deep. A combined 1 of 9 from 3 and 5 of 20 from the floor. Not great. But how many of their shots were effectively, oh crap, the shot clock is inside of 2 and only Mikal or Jay is open. Better kick them the rock real quick and let them get up a beater. A number of those shots. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. This is the risk you run when you build a team around a star. Don't get me wrong. I love Devin Booker. I do. I still think Devin Booker is a great player. Unfortunately, Devin Booker picked a bad night to have a bad night. He picked a bad night to have a bad night. The night that Luka Doncic goes for 35 with 10 rebounds to pile on. The night that Jalen Brunson goes for 24 with 6 boards and a few assists to get piled on. You picked a bad night to have a bad night, D-Book, and the Mavs picked a good night to take full advantage of the Suns' 2 big names not showing up.
Is this conversation completely different if it was a close game? Is it just because it was such a blowout and it looked like the Suns just didn't show up to play?
Yeah, but only because either A, the Suns put up 120 and lost, in which case, what are you going to do? It's the NBA.
Yeah.
Or the Suns played significantly better defense and they lost 90-92. For this game to be a closer game, right? Either the Suns would have had to play better offense and keep it close to the Mavs, or better defense and keeps the Mavs close to them. They did neither of those two things. Yeah, I think the conversation is probably different if it's 123 to 121 Mavs win or 92 to 90 Mavs win, because that meant the Suns did one or the other thing significantly better. But instead, they sucked on offense and they sucked on defense.
Well, and they're showing Chris Paul gathering the guys together, trying to get them going, and they just were not having any of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other part is I did not love the Suns' body language and mentality towards the end of this game, right?
Have you ever been on a team where it's just a flat day and there's nothing you could do about it, no matter how much you try to pump everybody up? So have I. It's a shame that it happened in the Game 7 in the NBA.
Sure.
That's what it looked like. They came out flat and Luka did not. And it's even more disheartening when you come out flat and you look on the other side and they got dudes over there just everything's going in and they're throwing up.
Well, look, I mean, they get to halftime. What was it at halftime? 57-17 at halftime?
It was 27.
57-27, sorry.
And Luka had the same amount of points as
the Suns?
As the Suns, yes.
Yeah. It's demoralizing, and I get it. But here's the thing. We have heard, sometimes I've mocked, sometimes I haven't, what the Warriors have said about themselves. What have they said? We got championship DNA, right? We got championship DNA. It's in our blood to be a title holder. And that's fine. The Suns don't. The Suns don't. We'll find out if the Warriors do or do not, but the Suns most certainly do not have championship DNA right now, and they proved it last night. Because here's the thing. You are, like Lonzo said, you are going to have days where you come out flat. It's going to happen. But if you want to be a championship team, you got to figure out how to fix it. And last night, it was like the Suns went into halftime down 57-27, down 30 at the half. Lonzo, if I asked you, what changes did the Suns make from the first half to the second? Do you have any for me? Because I don't.
Nope, no changes.
I got nothing. You shot poorly, and you took the same shots. Your sets were bad, and you kept running the same sets. Defensively, you were getting shredded by the pick and roll, and yet you did not flop over to a zone and try to change something. It was the exact same second half as the first, and it was the exact same results as the first. You got your ass kicked.
Maybe you triple team Luka. I mean, nothing else is working. Throw 3 guys on him.
Just do something.
Yeah. So at least it looks like you're trying to stop him from shooting, and just didn't see a whole lot of that.
Yeah. I mean, it was nothing. You tried to get into Luka's head. All you did was infuriate Luka. You tried to get into Luka's head. All you did was set him off to go bananas, BANANAS. He dropped 35, 10, and 4 on you. And by the way, didn't play the majority of the fourth quarter. Luka genuinely last night, Zoe, could have gone 59, 15, and 10 and triple-doubled you if he wanted to. Fourth quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, Luka was just having fun. He was just toying with the Suns. What went wrong? CP3 got old quick. D-Book did not understand what to do to bail himself out of that, which is bad. See, the Bucks, on the other hand, the Bucks had a bigger problem. The Bucks' problem was that the Celtics were good. The Celtics were good last night. That's it. Yeah, I had a liked better out of Giannis, 10 of 26, 1 of 4 from deep. But he grabbed you 20 boards and 9 assists, too. My guy was an assist away from a triple-double. Can you ask more out of Giannis Antetokounmpo than a triple-double in a Game 7? No. I mean, maybe shoot a little better than 10 of 26. Maybe shoot a little better than 37-ish%. But you can't ask for much better. 21 out of Drew Holiday. Keep in mind, the Bucks were missing the second best player on the team in Chris Middleton, right? Second best player on the squad, Chris Middleton, was unavailable. Still dealing with the injury from earlier in the series. If Chris Middleton's out there, maybe it's a better game. Maybe. But you're talking about a 28-point loss, dude. The Boston Celtics last night were just good. It wasn't bad play from the Bucks. The Celtics might be the best defensive team in the NBA. I've been telling you that for 3 months.
See, that's just it. You compare the two games. Milwaukee, there was effort. They were trying. Phoenix, it didn't look like they were trying.
They were just flat. They were just dead. They were just DOA, man. The Suns had no blood. They had no energy. They had no juice. They had no gas. And I think part of the reason that CP3 is taking hits is because when you look at a team that's got no gas, it's easy to point at the 37-year-old point guard, the guy that's supposed to make the offense and go, hey, guy who's supposed to make the offense go, you didn't do that. It's on him. Everybody knew that as goes Giannis, goes the Bucks. Giannis did the best he could. 25, being double-teamed a lot, by the way. 25, 20 rebounds, and 9 assists. Oh, and a block to throw in there, by the way. Right? My man was an assist shy of a triple-double in a 25-point game. What else do you want out of him? Chris Middleton's in that lineup. If you give me Chris Middleton instead of the 1 point of Wesley Matthews, you give me Chris Middleton instead of Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen, most punchable face in the world. Can't stand that guy. The one thing that made me happy about the Bucks losing was that I got to see sad Grayson. Grayson Allen's the Brad of the NBA. Screw you, Brad. You're the worst. Anyway. Give me anything else, man. Give me anything else. The Bucks weren't flat. The Bucks were, and again, I cite my middle school football coach, Tom Grant, who said, the biggest problem in sports is what? Sometimes the other team's just better than you. Milwaukee was amazing last year. It was a great story. It was a fun ride. I am all in for small market teams. Always have been. Milwaukee was fun last year, watching a small market team get in. I was all in for it. But this year, without Chris Middleton, they just weren't as good as Boston. It's that simple. It's that simple. Between Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the Boston Celtics are just a better basketball team than the Milwaukee Bucks. And they put it on display last night. Everything went right. 27. By the way, I talk about Tatum. I talk about Brown. How about Grant Williams with 27 last night? 10 of 22 from the floor, 7 of 18 from deep. 6 rebounds. Man, look, the Bucks put down 22, or excuse me, the Celtics put down 22 three-pointers last night. 66 of their 109 came from deep. I don't know that you're going to beat a team that knocks down 22 threes. Yeah, here's the thing, though. They took 55 three-point shots last night. 55. Over half 100. 55 three-point shots. And you would think, Zoe, that would probably cut into your 2-point field goal efforts, right? If you're jacking 55 threes, for comparison's sake, the Bucks took 33. If you are jacking up 55 threes in a game, you'd think it's got to be taken down from your short-range field goal efforts, right? How about this? The Bucks last night shot 90 field goal efforts from the floor. The C's, 88. Hey, I got news for you. If you let a team get off 88 field goal efforts and 55 go from deep, you did poorly. That's bad defense, man. That's bad defense. It just is. It just is. That's where the Bucks fell apart last night. The hustle was there, the effort was there, but the Celtics were just running in circle after circle after circle after circle and could not catch up. It was just that simple. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back here in just a minute. Got a few more things that I want to get into. Lots to talk about. To answer Keegan's question, yes, we will have a member of the Greenville Liberty joining us later in the show as the women's professional soccer team here in the Upstate gets their start Friday evening at Legacy Early College. They played at Charlotte, 1-0 against the Independents this weekend. Now they run it back this Friday night, Legacy Early College, women's professional soccer. Somebody from the Liberty will join us later this week. Let's take a break. I'm Rob. He's Zoe. This is the Fan Upstate.
QC.
Say about my friends at QC Kinetics, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I got out this weekend and
like a lot of, well, at least some offices, we still have the option for people to work from home. So it's really weird to look out and see a full parking lot. It's almost like nostalgia. It's also not pleasant for me because I can't park where I want to park. Should have sent out the memo that, leave this spot open for me. We usually get a fairly full parking lot right around lunchtime because of the chicken place next to us. But it was full when I got here this morning. It's weird. So weird. And yeah, I know it used to be the norm, but it no longer is.
What?
A full parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
We
haven't seen a full parking lot in 2 years.
This is so weird. The halo effect is going on for me with my car, though. The two spots on either side of me.
Everybody knows whose car that is.
Yeah, well, at least on this side of the building.
I pulled up and I saw it in a regular spot, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I thought about parking next to you, but then I was like, no, we still have a show to do.
I was going to say, if you're going to do that, make sure you do it in a way where I can't get in my car because, man, I appreciate that. Although I could crawl through the trunk. It would be very unpleasant. I might get stuck. I don't know. My wife didn't realize how many hats I have in my back seat till yesterday. We were going to the stores. It's nothing but hats all in the back seat. And I never wear hats. So why are they back there?
Yeah, that's a lie. You wear hats.
All right. I rarely wear hats. I was trying to decide if I want to go full on bro. So I brought the hat in just in case for the picture. I've got T2 convinced that he and I are going to start doing a bro and bro thing, just going around to people's offices in the building going, bro.
Talk about the line. RK Bro 420 says, I just smoked your ass. Preferred Home Services text line 71307. Text says, Rob, I'm a college football fan, and I'm hoping your show can help answer a question for me. Is it true that it has been 1,269 days since the Gamecocks scored a touchdown against Clemson? If true, Mark Ryan wasn't even on air with the station the last time they scored a TD against Clemson.
I seriously doubt that is true. I seriously do. And the other thing is, I would like to ask a question of, as we get older and we evolve, we come up with new material.
Did you say as we old?
as well, also the speech is one of the first things to go.
Yep,
so as we get older, we get, we evolve, we become more of a complete person and we get better material. And I hope you reach that someday, sir or madam.
I don't know if it's true or not, and the last time the Gamecocks scored a touchdown would have been November 24th, 2018. So you do the math?
By the way, again, maybe change up your writing style so I don't know who you are. And then
you just went to verify that number?
Oh, no.
Oh,
it was confirmed by text afterwards. Yeah.
Gotcha.
See, I could tell by writing style. And again, material that's been used before. Yeah, the numbers probably change a little bit, but I've spent a little time finding that. I mean, why is that so important to you?
Yeah, it makes me laugh.
No, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about to the texter.
Yeah, I meant that text made me laugh.
Sir or madam or whoever you may be. Why is this so important to you? Why not worry about your team? How many losses did you have last year? Is the dynasty done? Your defensive coordinator is gone? Is this the end of Clemson as we know it? Will the transfer portal make you back to where you used to be? Middle of the pack in the ACC, which means a whole lot more now, doesn't it?
It's the end of the Clemson as we know it. All right. So I do have to tell you, it's the end of Clemson if ... discussions, right? Like if they don't, if they do, it'll be the end. It'll be the end of Clemson when it's the end of Clemson, right? Like just relax. Can we all just calm down?
It was the end of Miami when it was the end of Miami. It was the end of up to whatever dynasties or miniature dynasties.
Florida State.
Yeah, I mean,
Florida.
you have your run and then it's over.
And then you go away for a little while.
Right.
For a long while.
Because you're not a blue blood, you know.
Yeah.
The blue bloods like Alabama, Ohio State, those guys that kind of stick
I
around.
would like to point out that before there was Nick Saban, there was Mike Shula and Coach Price. There were, by the way, do you remember when the Alabama coach found himself in trouble in a strip club? Mike Price was fired from Alabama because actually I was going to say because he was bad. He never actually coached a game for Alabama.
He was just there for the wings, man. That's all he had to say.
That's all you got to say.
That's all he had to say. He could have got out of it.
Except
Could
for
have
the
got out of
problem
it.
was he was at a club called Air Tees Angels in Pensacola, Florida, a club that I have unfortunately been to once in my life. And let me just tell you, I have been to it, Lonzo, once in my life because there was 0 point in time I was letting anybody in my life end up in that club. All right? Mike Price got busted.
Wow, were you like standing outside the door going, "No, don't go in. Do not go in."
So we ended up there on a like a New Year's Eve one night because we let one of our more questionable friends dictate which club we were going to go to that night, and none of us knew better, right? So we ended up there. Lonzo, we were in that gentleman's club for about
you take
6 minutes, and we were like, nope.
You take advice from that guy every once in a while just to remind you why you don't take advice from that guy. And everyone looks at each other, why did we do this? Okay, yeah.
Mike Price was in Pensacola playing in a Pro-Am golf tournament. He got caught in Air Tees Angels, the name of the club, paying for drinks and private dances from an exotic dancer named Destiny, which is ironic because that's how he ruined his. Mike Price got canned the next day.
Was that her real name?
No. Come on, man. No. Here's what the New York Times wrote up the article to say, and I quote, "The next morning, Price awakened in his hotel room, fully clothed, but unable to explain the presence or remember the name of a woman in the room with him, according to Mac Bledsoe, a friend of his. The woman later ordered $1,000 in room service, requesting one of each item on the hotel menu," end quote. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely phenomenal story.
He could afford it.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
he
at the
could've.
time,
I don't know if he ever got
yeah.
that first check from Alabama, man. Anyway, I actually was going to go in this direction. Deion Sanders. We talked about the can we please stop with the Clemson is dead if they do or don't conversations. All right? I think people take things and make them dramatic sometimes, and it makes the conversation, like the necessary conversation, that much more difficult to have. Like the transfer portal discussion, right? Dabo's going to work the portal the way Dabo's going to work the portal. And Dabo has worked the portal. But he got 7 guys on the roster that are out of the portal now. Dabo called his shot from the beginning. Look, I'm not just going to grab any dude out of the portal. I'm going to get guys that fit us because, and I believe, for the record, I believe that Dabo is correct in one take that he's made. And it is this. You would better find guys, you would better recruit guys who want to be part of the program. who want to be there and build the program and be part of the program, and then use the transfer portal as a supplemental recruiting tool. And I think he's done that, right? Now, the transfer portal, along with NIL, presents an entirely different new set of circumstances.
Do you approach the transfer portal as a one-year contract, though?
Yeah, because a lot of the guys in the portal, they are one of two things. Either A, they've proven to you that if they are not happy with their situation, they will use the portal. Or B, they're using the portal to come give their numbers for a year to get ready for the league. Spencer Rattler, right? I view Spencer Rattler as a one-year quarterback for South Carolina. Now, if you get 2 or 3 out of him, great. Great. But I view him as a one-year guy. Because if he comes out and he does what you want him to do, he's NFL ready next year. And if he comes out and doesn't do what you want him to do, then you end up making the switch to Luke Doty, and Spencer Rattler maybe hits the portal again, right? So, yeah, it's a year-by-year contract. But that's why and I think Dabo's in the same boat, use the portal as a supplemental build, not the way. This is not the way. It's a supplement to the way, right? I would like to see the transfer. Like it's a supplement. It's not the way. Now, Deion Sanders knows the NIL plus the transfer portal laws are about to make his job tougher, all right? The Jackson State coach went on a Twitter post last week with a 1-minute video, and he said, and what I'm sure Lonzo is going to agree with, quote, "When you start paying athletes like they're professionals, you get athletes acting like they are professionals, and you don't have staffs large enough and equipped enough to handle a young man with money. Let me go deeper. Handle a young man that's making more money than some of the coaches on staff. I suggest to you, allow college teams to hire more qualified men, that can handle these young men that's getting this money." See, with the NIL, which really ain't NIL because it ain't no name, image, and likeness, it's just pay-per-view right now. That's what they're doing at the big boys. Little boys, we can't compete with that. But anyway, you've got a problem. I'm trying to help before it blows up in your face. Money makes you more of who you really are. Now think about that for a minute, end quote. So, couple of things. I'm going to start at the end. Money makes you more of what you really are. I actually agree with that, Lonzo. I actually agree with that. I think money brings out your most prominent attributes. It amplifies them.
I hope to someday find out who I am.
You're exactly right. Could you imagine money making me louder? Money brings out more of who you really are, right? Here's the thing, though. Don't put that on players. It is not the college football players' fault that on February, you guys tried out ESPN and Fox News and CBS cameras and NBC cameras to high schools across the country and throw up nationally the recruiting signing ceremony of high school kids. It is not the fault of the players. By the way, hey, coach, didn't you just sign the #1 recruit of last year's recruiting class? Didn't you just bring in Travis Hunter, the #1 recruit in college football? Is it Travis Hunter's fault that Travis Hunter is a household name for those of us who follow recruiting? No, it's not his fault. No, it's not his fault. It's not on him. It's on us. Now, I will say this. I got no problem. We've talked about regulation, right? We've talked about regulation. We've talked about the NCAA coming up with rules and protocols and regulations about how to handle NIL, and I'm good with it as long as it doesn't cap the amount of money players can make, right? I see that all the time. Well, you should cap it at $1 million or $2 million. Why? Why? Do we cap the income of any other profession? No, not really.
I think he has a great point about bringing in more people, though, because what you do, that's what the NFL does.
Yep.
And you basically have turned college football into the NFL.
Nope.
Yes, you have.
Disagree.
Okay, what's the difference?
The difference is you are not paying players to play football.
Yeah, but someone is.
Okay,
So,
go bust them.
Yeah. Okay.
Go bust
Well,
them.
no. It's legit now.
I mean, not you. You and I are busy. We have a show to do.
So they're getting paid to play football. They are. If they weren't playing football, they wouldn't be getting paid like they're getting paid, right? You're not getting an NIL deal because you're the number one science student. You're just not doing that. And by the way, that's fine. I don't go against athletes because of the treatment they're getting, because the market dictates. And yeah, I know the market is dictating that they're getting paid this money, and that's fine. But they are getting paid. They're not playing for free. They're getting paid. Whether the
time out.
college pays for them or not, they're getting paid.
A fraction of them are getting paid. Okay? I promise you, Clemson's backup left tackle is not getting paid this year.
I don't know. You don't know. You don't know that for sure.
I don't. You're right, but I'd be willing to take a flyer on it. Right?
They take care of their own there.
As I have done before, I challenge you. Outside of DJ and Will Shipley, name me another Clemson player who is getting. I saw my first, and by the way, my first NIL. Holy crap! This is amazing. I'm so happy.
So you
for
actually
this
want
kid.
me to look at the Clemson team and find it? I ain't doing that. It's not football season.
So about a week and a half ago, I got asked to bring home a burrito for the lady friend. She was hungry and she wanted a burrito. So I went out and grabbed her a burrito from a local fast food burrito place. Anyway, I found this.
Was it south of the border?
No, it was not. I can say it, right? It's good. Barbaritos. Big fan of Barbaritos. Over on Wade Hampton. I hit it a lot. And I found this. The Jordan Davis Heavy D Burrito. That's a Georgia defensive lineman. He was that big boy for the championship game.
I was about to ask you who Jordan Davis is. So
Jordan Davis was the national champ. He was the mountain dude in the middle.
By the way, I think I've just made a point. Okay. I don't know who Jordan Davis is.
Sure.
Unless they're from my town or on my team, I don't know who they are. So how is that an advantage to the advertiser if I don't know who that is? If the average person walking in and goes, I don't know who that is the burrito any good? I mean,
first I'll say this.
So you're paying them to get them to come to your school, not to really help you out, because most people don't know who they are.
Okay, so I'm going to say respectfully, you not knowing Jordan Davis, the new Philadelphia Eagle, Jordan Davis was the most talked about defensive player in college football this year.
All right, so Rob, what percentage of people coming in a restaurant like the restaurant you're talking about are football fans?
Some.
So you don't know. So you can't. I know I always come back to this, but I'm going to come back to it. You can't put a number on it. Because you can't put a number on it, what is the advantage? There's some advantage to it. The advantage is getting the player to come to your favorite team or your home or the team that's in the town that you're working at. That's the only advantage. It's not getting you more customers.
Jordan Davis is being repped in South Carolina.
Not getting you more customers. Not getting you more customers.
I don't know, man.
The average person.
There are some Georgia fans around here who might go, I'm going to check out Barbaritos because Jordan Davis is repping Barbaritos, and I'm in for that because Jordan Davis was an integral part of Georgia's national championship. They may not have won that title if it wasn't for Jordan Davis needing 4 offensive linemen to block him because he was a stud.
Good for him. Not on any team that I root for, so chances are I don't know who he is when I walk into the restaurant.
Fair enough, but listen, I get the point that you're making, right? Which is and you're right. Let me say, I'm not arguing because you're wrong. You're not. You're right. The more money that my team can go. By the way, XYZU University players last year earned a combined $1.8 million in NIL money, and another school goes, "Yeah, we paid out 0.5 NIL." Right? I'd be like, "Yo, there's more money on the table over there. Maybe I'll go there. Maybe I will." But again. That's why the schools can't be directly involved. We leave it up to us, the people. I still don't have a problem with that. It is not professional because they are not being paid by their employers, the colleges at this case. It is not. They're getting paid by regular people who go, I want to give you money to associate you with me. Which, that's not the definition of being a professional football player. That's it. And it really is. It's a ticky-tack, bit of vernacular, linguistic discussion, but I think it's an important one. Texas said they could have gone in the exact opposite direction, cut out all the dark money in the NCAA football, and the same players would be on the same field playing the same game. For the record, yes, I want that to happen. I think Lonzo wants that to happen. I think all of us want that to happen. That has been my biggest problem with the NCAA. It's not that there's not enough regulation. It's that you're not enforcing the regulation that there is. Let's take a break. Lonzo and I hit Twitter trending topics on the way out. He is the great one. I am Rob, and this is the Fan Upstate. I have hairspray and gel both in my hair. Watch my ear. So much it sticks to the side of my head.
Wow. You know, I hate that I kill it right on the beat and then there's music behind the thing and I have to fade it.
I'm not driving to Nashville to watch Ric Flair wrestle, by the way. Zero interest. No.
I'm not driving to Asheville, period. So, I mean, there's that. If I recall, he's in a triple threat match. And
He is with the Rock and Roll Express on the other side.
My boy.
It's Keegan says wrestle is a loose term for that. Yeah, it's
Ricky Morton.
Ricky Morton, is that who it is?
I believe that's the Rock and Roll
You
Express.
know who I want him lined up against as the other third? Jay Lethal.
Yeah, I know. I've seen all this stuff. They're whoever they're going up against has been announced too, and I forget who it is. It's another group of older gentlemen, if I recall.
Group of older gentlemen.
Yay, we're just one step closer to me having to put on stupid khakis.
Khakis. You guys, Lonzo's gonna be so cute in his Saturday best.
Oh, dude, I'm going to look good because that's what I do, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's khakis.
I'm gonna look good against my will.
When you look this good, you can't help yourself. You know what I'm saying? I ain't smiling. I'm wearing khakis. I will lose my smile as soon as I put one leg in. Maybe even a toe in.
Lonzo finna mean mug like he's angry at the camera.
Well, I think we need to properly project who we are.
Oh, you're just getting the eyebrow out of me.
Well, I'm just going to let my hair down and do the wave. You are, by the way. The shirt looks good.
Let's get a little closer, get the old belly out of range.
We're going to go do this pose.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. Can that be our fun picture? Something I would call the Ed Grimley pose, but, there's another name for it.
Well, we got.
So it's
13 more minutes
12:30.
of the show, buddy. We got 12:30. Yeah. I was just coming to say hi. I was coming to tell you how much I like that shirt. Yeah, I literally just went and stared through the door a couple of times as they were taking photos. It made me laugh.
Or you're prepping for later, for when we just, camp out
I
over
wanted
there.
to see what the setup looked like as a amateur photographer. I was just curious. It's a for real setup. Like
I
I thought that was you
it could be.
singing on that.
It could
I
be.
thought that was you.
Could be.
Is it?
No, it's a national spot, which doesn't mean it still couldn't be me. I mean, I'm waiting for a national spot. I've come close like once. Waiting for that perfect dumb jock sounding voice that they're looking for,
Yeah,
and they
bro.
just notice me, and it's like, he's perfect. Sorry, we only pay in product.
He said, "You boys smile real purty." Keegan, I still got 96% of my teeth. All my smiles is purty. I done had them fixed.
I just hope the photographer doesn't know who I am, because it's another photo shoot where I'm going to have to deal with, hey, Lonzo, give me a little more. Hey, Lonzo, give me a little more.
Work it,
Yeah,
work it.
You think you get used to it, but after a while it gets annoying.
Lonzo, give me a little bit more. Work the camera. Work it. Work it. Blue Steel.
And go in and smack my cheeks a little bit, get a little more red in there,
Get some rosy in
get a
there.
little blood in there. Some more of, why aren't you smiling, Lonzo? Because my khakis are too tight.
Oh, Hedrick said I could just wear these. I was like, hey, man, I'm really sorry. I don't have actual khakis. I said, but I got half an hour. I can go get them. And he's like, no, those are fine. Are you sure? He said,
Really?
so you could have just gone regular dress pants.
Well, that's just ridiculous. All right, time for Twitter trending topics where I just may revolt on khakis, but I'm not going to do it, though. The first thing that's trending is Patrick Beverly.
Monday! Patrick Beverly
Starting
has
a week
been
off
on,
right.
One of the morning debate shows this morning, and based on the fact that J.J. Redick has been fleecing every old talking head on that network over the past few weeks, he absolutely made Mad Dog look clown. He has clowned Stephen A. couple of times. I suspect that JJ and Patrick Beverly versus the world is going to be the tag team that finally takes down the ESPN talking heads.
All right, here's the reason why Patrick Beverly is trending. He decided to go on Twitter during the basketball game last night.
did he?
And throw up some stuff like, why does CP3 deserve to win a championship? Because someone threw up there and said so. And there's several other things. He went at Chris Paul quite a bit on Twitter. You should check it out. Some of it pretty funny, very personal. He doesn't care for Chris Paul very much.
Patrick Beverly ain't afraid of a damn person, thing, person, or place at all.
All right, the next thing that's trending is Liv Morgan.
So I just finally finished last week's AEW Dynamite. I am about a SmackDown and a Rampage away from being caught up. She joined the Wolfpack. She's NWO for life.
No, the fake Wolfpack known as the Bullet Club.
Lives Bullet Pack or Bullet Club now.
Yeah, with
AJ
and Finn.
And Finn. Did they officially bring back the Bullet Club? Like
they were wrestling somewhere.
Yeah.
And she joined the club
let's go.
And they did the
I love Liv.
the fake Wolfpack thing, Too Sweet.
Yeah.
And
Liv's a little hustle monster. I love Liv.
Yeah, me too.
She's a little hustle monster. She deserves a good push.
Yeah, but she gets a push and then they
Take it right back away
they
from
don't do
her
anything
because
with
there's
it.
zero consistency of decision making.
Except for the crowd really enjoys
loves
her.
Liv.
Yeah, they do. All right, the last thing that's trending.
Give the people what they want, Vince.
The last thing that's trending is Steve Austin.
Stone Cold, eh? I'm assuming one of his podcasts hit.
I have no idea why Steve Austin is trending, and it doesn't matter because it's Steve Austin. I looked everywhere. Why is he trending? Why is he trending? No clue. It's Twitter. I don't know, but it's Steve Austin. And if we don't talk about him trending, he might find us.
And that's the end of Twitter trending topics because Lonzo said so.
Khakis.
Lonzo's going to put on khakis now. It's amazing. I'll put up a behind-the-scenes picture of Lonzo and his khakis.
Ooh, behind the scenes.
Okay, not the... Jim Rome is up next. Mark Ryan and Diesel up after that. We're back tomorrow to try harder and make less of those types of comments. He's the great one. I'm Rob. See you back here tomorrow on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. Later, brother.
The heck are you doing, man? Stop it.
Bye, stream. See you
You're
tomorrow.
going to hurt us.